Well, we'll turn our attention now to another matter, albeit controversial, but they're here to talk to us about it. We're joined now by Andem, who is the National Coordinator, Akwa Political Action Committee.
Exactly.
Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And then we also have Mr. Iboro Otongara, who is the Head Media and Publicity of the APC campaign organization. He also joins us. Well, let's start with Mr. Andem. Your NGO actually was the one heading this, and that popped up. This has got to do with the deputy governorship candidate of the APC, and the word out there is that what, he didn't resign, or is it that he didn't properly resign from his office before contesting for elections? What is the case you've got?
Very quickly, let me say this. Resignation from paid employment is a question of fact and not that of argument. Why? Because the issue is either you have resigned or you've not. If you've resigned, certain consequential implications naturally follow. If you have not resigned, you will continue to draw emoluments.
Do you think he resigned?
He did not resign.
Okay, just a minute. Mr. Borough,
thank you, sir.
Let's get your response on this one. He says that your deputy governorship candidate did not resign.
That is not correct. His Excellency Engineer Benedict Ukpong did resign, go on voluntary retirement. He applied for voluntary retirement, and that voluntary retirement from FCDA was accepted. Right, he applied on the 22nd of December.
That in a minute, but Mr. Andem, while we're just trying to fix that, but his earlier response is that that's not actually correct. What figures, what facts do you have on this?
Yes, why we hold firmly to the position that he did not resign is because we have credible evidence by way of pay slip showing that this gentleman continued to draw salaries and emoluments from the month of September 2014 to the month of June 2015, pay slip emanating from his employers. And we went further to discover that these salaries normally go to his salary account with First Bank PLC. And we have bank statements to show that this salary hit this account and the owner of the account drew therefrom. Consequently, it is after we blew the whistle that, hey, listen, something is wrong here, that he rushed on the 22nd of July, only a couple of days ago, to say, oh, sorry, I drew in error, I hereby refund. That, by our understanding, does not obliterate the fact that the stealing of public funds had already been completed. So the fact that you refund is merely evidence, exhibit for criminal prosecution.
All right,
that's our position. We have it. We've published it, bank statements, pay slips. I mean, these are documents that are in the public domain. They can be confirmed. And they have not said no.
But usually, when people resign, there's usually a letter to the effect. Was there a letter?
We have seen a belated attempt to bolt the stable after the horse has already escaped. There's a purported letter saying, I resigned as far back as January 2015. But your pay slip runs up to June 2015, and you have been withdrawing. Why do you draw salary after you have resigned?
That is on the one hand. And the other question will be, was the because I want to believe that he worked with the Akwa Ibom state government. The head of service should have taken note if a member of the Civil Service Commission had resigned or had not resigned and then was, playing politics. That case was, pointed out at least very well in Akwa Ibom state during the tenure of the former governor there, Godswill Akpabio.
No, you got it wrong this time. He actually worked with federal FCDA. Federal Capital City Development Authority, FCDA Abuja. He's an engineer. He rose up to Deputy Director Engineering, and he knows, as a federal civil servant, well-grounded, experienced, that the moment you resign, you are no longer entitled to salary and emoluments. He continued to draw therefrom, even after his own purported date of resignation. And you know what blew our minds completely? In the month of May, this gentleman drew the housing allowance component of his salary. Now, you guys are in paid employment. Housing allowance does not come every month with the regular salary. It's appropriated for you. When you are prepared, you make a request, this is my annual housing, disburse, I need it. Now, in the month of May, after a man said he resigned as far back as January. A request was made for housing, and the thing was paid into the account, and he drew it therefrom. It's in his bank statement. First Bank is alive. They can come produce it here. It's a public document by now. How then can one tell us that, oh, I resigned, and you continue to draw? If you did resign and you continue to draw your emoluments, the simple truth is, let's call a spade a spade. Federal government monies has been stolen. And it must be investigated in the face of the anti-corruption stance of the current administration.
Mr. Tongara, is that correct? Is it drawing funds?
No, first of all, I should be allowed.
He did.
Mr. Chamberlain, I should be allowed to respond to what Andem is saying. He is saying that Engineer Akwa did not resign. He did resign. I have here a letter of resignation dated for 22nd December 2014, and I also have here another letter dated this, January 14, 2015, from the FCDA accepting his voluntary retirement. Now, what constitutes retirement or resignation is that you applied to retire or to resign, and it's accepted. Once that is done, then the issue of whether he resigned or not has been settled. He did resign. Now, the aspect of whether he was paid salary. Of course, after you have exited a system, for instance, if you were to resign or retire from channels, it is not your responsibility to manage the payroll. He did not payroll himself. The responsibility is that of FCDA. If FCDA made a mistake, as they did, in paying salary into Engineer Akwa's salary account, Engineer Akwa should not be blamed. The important thing here, though I'm not going to go into that because they have already gone to the tribunal.
All right,
this matter is in the tribunal, so I won't go into detail because the matter is sub judice. The important thing is here.
All right.
The important thing here is that he even refunded the money. Mr. Engineer Akwa needs to be given credit. He needs to be commended because this is a man who, on finding out that FCDA mistakenly, erroneously paid money into his account, voluntarily refunded the money with a letter to FCDA. He was not prompted. FCDA did not write him a letter. Nobody wrote him. On discovering that money was being paid erroneously into his account, he sent the money back. And I have here both a treasury receipt from FCDA. I have here both treasury receipt from FCDA.
When did you discover this?
And a bank statement, a teller, to show that he paid back this money voluntarily.
Could you tell us, when did he discover that monies were being paid into his account, erroneously, I should say?
He discovered this sometime this year, after the election.
When exactly? Any time to it?
What we have on record is that this money was paid back on the 22nd of July. That's what we have on record.
22nd of July?
Yes, it's on record here. This money was paid back on the 22nd of July. Okay. And what Mr. Andem is talking about, their petition, the document they have, that they have a stamped true copy from FCDA, are dated 23rd. He refunded this money voluntarily on his own, even before they began to talk about what does not exist.